DD7. Imagine waking up tomorrow and having just one simple habit that changes everything before you start your most important work. Imagine a moment so small yet so powerful. It can clear your mind, calm your heart, and prepare you to face any challenge with focus and peace. Imagine how different your day would feel if you began every task with that one thing. No stress, no confusion, just calm readiness. Have you ever started a big task and found yourself distracted, restless, or overwhelmed? What if there was a way to stop that from happening before you even begin? How much more could you achieve if your mind was steady and your heart was calm every time you sat down to work? These questions are at the heart of what we are about to explore. Think of a simple example. Before a race, athletes don't just rush forward. They pause, breathe, and focus. That moment of stillness helps them run better, faster, stronger. What if you treated your important work like a race? What if the pause before you begin was your secret to success? Welcome to Wisdom Writings. In this video, you will discover the one essential thing to do before starting your important work, inspired by deep Buddhist teachings. These ancient yet practical ideas will help you find calm, focus, and clarity. If you want to transform how you work and live, stay with us until the end. Before we move forward, I kindly ask you to like this video, share it with those who need it, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to our channel, Wisdom Writings. Your support helps us bring more life-changing wisdom to you. Please also drop a comment saying, Namo Buddhaya, a beautiful way to stay positive and remind yourself of peace throughout this video. Let's create a calm, supportive community together. Now, the secret to better work is simple but powerful. It begins with how you prepare your mind. Buddhism teaches that the mind is like a garden. If you plant calmness and awareness before you start, your work will grow beautifully. If you rush in with noise and distraction, the garden is full of weeds. This preparation is not about forcing your mind or pushing away feelings. It's about gently noticing your thoughts and emotions and letting them settle naturally, like water in a clear pond. When the water is still, you can see clearly. When the mind is still, you can act clearly. Many people ignore this step. They jump into work without pausing, hoping everything will be fine. But stress builds up. Mistakes happen. Energy drains fast. The difference comes from this one small action before starting. In Buddhist practice, this is called mindfulness, being fully present and aware of the moment. It's the key to focus and success in any task. It is not complicated. Anyone can learn it and use it every day. In this series, we will explore how this mindful pause works, how to do it, and why it can change your life. You don't need special tools or hours of meditation. Just one thing, done simply and sincerely. Remember, every great achievement starts with a clear, calm mind. So take a deep breath now and prepare to discover the power of starting well. You are about to learn a skill that will help you not just in work, but in all parts of life. Stay tuned for more in the next part, where we will explore why an empty mind is the strongest mind before any important work. Thank you again for being here. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Writings. Don't forget to write Namo Buddhaya in the comments to keep your heart positive and connected. Listen carefully. Before any important work, before any task that demands your full presence, the mind must be empty. Not empty like a hollow shell or a void where nothing lives, but empty in a way that is free. Free from the clutter of distraction, free from the noise that pulls you in many directions. Imagine your mind as a clear sky. When clouds cover it, you cannot see the sun or the stars. Your thoughts are like those clouds, sometimes light and fluffy, sometimes dark and heavy. If the clouds never part, you lose sight of what matters. To work well, to see clearly, you need the clouds to drift away. The sky must be clear. Many people believe focusing means forcing the mind to hold on tightly to something. They try to squeeze their attention like a fist holding water, but the water slips through the cracks. True focus comes not from grasping, but from opening. The mind must open and soften, not tighten. Buddhism teaches that the mind is naturally bright and clear, like a mirror. But when it is covered with dust, thoughts, worries, plans, it cannot reflect the world as it truly is. To do important work, we must gently wipe away that dust. We do this not by fighting the thoughts, but by letting them settle. This settling does not mean pushing everything away or ignoring reality. It means noticing what is happening inside without judgment. When a thought arises, see it as a passing cloud. It comes, it stays a moment, and then it moves on. You do not need to chase it, or hold it tight. When you allow your mind this freedom, it becomes empty, not empty in a bad way, but empty like a calm lake after the wind has stopped. The surface smooths. The depths become still. In that stillness, you find a space where true focus can arise naturally. Think about your daily life. How often do you start working while your mind is racing with a dozen other things? You're thinking about yesterday's mistakes, tomorrow's worries, or what to eat for lunch. Your mind is full, and yet you try to focus on one task. How well does that usually work? Often, it leads to frustration. Your attention breaks again and again. You feel tired before you even begin. This is the mind clutter, the noise that pulls you away from the present moment. In Buddhist teaching, this noise is called monkey mind. It jumps from one branch of thought to another, never sitting still. But the mind is also capable of being still. Like a trained monkey that learns to rest calmly on a branch, your mind can learn to settle. How do you begin this settling? Start by simply noticing your breath. The breath is the anchor that brings your mind back to the present moment. When you focus on breathing, the noisy thoughts begin to quiet. The mind begins to empty naturally. Do not try to control the breath or change it. Just watch it as it flows in and out. In this watching, the mind relaxes. The rush slows. The clutter fades. In that fading, there is emptiness. And in emptiness, there is clarity. This clarity is different from thinking clearly or being smart. It is a deep, quiet knowing. It is the space from which all good work begins. Without this space, your efforts scatter like wind-blown leaves. This is why before any important work, before you write, speak, create, or decide, it is essential to make your mind empty first. This emptiness is not emptiness of emptiness, but emptiness full of potential. It is the fertile soil where the seeds of attention, wisdom, and skill grow strong. Without this soil, no matter how hard you try, your work lacks roots. It is shaky, incomplete, and easily disturbed. You may ask, how long must the mind be empty? Is it enough to just pause for a second? Or must you sit in meditation for hours? The answer is simple. Even a brief moment of true emptiness, just a few calm breaths, is enough to reset your mind. It is like clearing the fog just before sunrise. The world looks different in that clear light. Practicing this emptiness daily strengthens it. Like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Over time, you will notice how often your mind rushes and how quickly you can bring it back to calm. In everyday life, this practice does not require special places or hours of silence. It can happen anywhere, in your office, before a meeting, or even while waiting in line. The key is intention. You must decide to pause and let your mind empty. When you do, the quality of your work changes. You begin to see details you missed before. Your decisions feel clearer. Your energy is steady, not wasted. This is the wisdom of an empty mind. This teaching is not new. The Buddha, thousands of years ago, taught that suffering arises from grasping, from clinging to thoughts and desires. The way out is to let go. Letting go is the practice of emptying the mind. By emptying the mind before work, you let go of distractions. You step out of the chaos inside. You open a space where your true abilities can shine. In this space, there is no rush, no panic. There is only presence. And presence is power. So remember, the mind must be empty before it can be focused. Empty your mind first, and your work will follow with ease. As you go through your day, notice when your mind is full and noisy. Pause. Take a breath. Let empty. Give yourself the gift of calm before you begin anything important. This is the secret of mindful beginnings, the foundation of every great achievement. The breath is your first and most faithful teacher. It is always with you, moving in and out like the gentle tide of the ocean. When you feel lost or distracted before important work, return to your breath. It is the bridge between your body and your mind, the doorway that leads you into presence. Without breath, there is no life. Without attention to breath, your mind wanders like leaves caught in the wind. Many people rush into their tasks, pulling their attention in all directions. Their bodies tense, their minds scattered. Yet the breath is steady, patient, waiting silently for you to notice. When you slow your breathing, your body relaxes and your mind begins to clear. This is not magic, but simple truth. The breath invites calm, and calm invites clarity. Feel how the breath flows naturally. It does not need force or control. Just watch it, like watching the clouds float by in the sky. When your mind follows the breath, it stops chasing thoughts and worries. It rests, like a bird perched on a branch, still and ready. Your body speaks to you through the breath. Often, when the mind is restless, the body tightens without you realizing it. Shoulders rise, muscles clench, the chest feels heavy. These are signs your inner world is out of balance. The breath can soften these tensions, like water, gently smoothing rough stones. Before you begin your important work, bring your attention to your body and breath together. Sit or stand quietly. Take a deep breath in, feeling the air fill your lungs. Let your chest expand, your belly rise. Then slowly exhale, letting go of any tightness or worry. Do this a few times. With each breath, you create space inside yourself. This space is the fertile ground where focus grows. When the body is relaxed and the breath is calm, the mind can settle like clear water. Only then can you see your task with fresh eyes, without distraction or doubt. Remember, the breath is a guide back to yourself. When you lose your way, the breath can always bring you home. It is simple, free, and always present. You do not need anything else to prepare your mind for important work except this moment of attention. In Zen, we say, just this breath. This means no matter what is happening around you, no matter how many thoughts crowd your mind, return to this very breath right now. It is your anchor. It is your strength. Some may think that focusing on breath is only for meditation, but it is much more than that. The breath is a tool for living fully, for acting clearly. It carries the power to calm anxiety, sharpen your focus, and open your heart. This power is available to you at any moment. Think of your breath as the rhythm of your life. When the rhythm is steady, your actions flow naturally and effectively. When it is erratic, you feel off balance and tired. Before you start anything important, check your rhythm. Are you breathing slowly and deeply? Or are you shallow and rushed? Adjust your breath, and you adjust your whole being. The body is not separate from the mind. It is the home where your mind lives. If the body is restless or tense, the mind cannot find peace. So do not neglect the body before your work. Stretch gently, relax your shoulders, soften your face. Bring kindness to your body as you prepare your mind. Notice how your hands feel. Are they cold, tight, or shaky? Let them rest lightly, open and free. This small care helps the mind become steady and focused. In Zen practice, we cultivate awareness of every movement, every sensation. When you prepare for important work, take a moment to feel your whole body. This brings you fully into the present. It connects your inner world with the outer world. Some say the mind is like a wild horse, but the breath and body are the reins that can gently guide it. Without reins, the horse runs wild and uncontrolled. With reins, it can move with purpose and grace. Your breath and body are your reins. Try this now. Before your next task, close your eyes briefly and place one hand on your belly. Breathe in deeply, feeling your belly rise. Breathe out slowly, feeling it fall. Count each breath if it helps. 1 in, 1 out. 2 in, 2 out. Feel the calm grow with each breath. When you open your eyes, you will find your mind quieter, your body lighter. This moment of stillness is the foundation for all that follows. Remember, this is not a ritual or a chore. It is a gift to yourself. a moment of respect for the work ahead and for your own well-being. As you develop this habit, you will notice something beautiful. Your work becomes more joyful. Your mistakes lessen. Your energy lasts longer. Your heart feels peaceful even in difficult moments. The breath and body together create a sacred space inside you. This space is your sanctuary, your place of power. It is always available, no matter how busy or stressed life becomes. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to enter this space quickly. It is like learning to open a door that leads to clarity and calm. Once open, you can walk through it any time. In this space, you are no longer scattered or reactive. You are centered, aware, and ready. Ready to face challenges, solve problems, and create with skill and compassion. This is the true preparation before important work. Not rushing or forcing, but arriving fully, body, breath, and mind together. In Zen, we value simplicity and presence. This preparation is both. It does not add complexity to your life. It clears the way for everything you need. So when you feel overwhelmed or distracted, return to your breath. Feel your body. Find your center. This is the one thing that changes everything. Let your breath be your guide. Let your body be your home. Then, step forward with calm strength and clear purpose. Your important work awaits, but first, come back to yourself. Before any important work begins, the mind must be like a mirror, clear, calm, and ready. If the mirror is dirty or cracked, it cannot show the true image. Likewise, if your mind is cluttered or confused, your actions will be unclear and less powerful. The ancient wisdom of Buddhism teaches us about intention. Intention is like the seed you plant before you start to grow something. If the seed is good and carefully chosen, the plant will be strong and healthy. If the seed is careless or weak, the plant will struggle. Your intention is that seed. When you prepare for work, do not rush in with noise and haste. Instead, take a moment to look inside. Ask yourself, why am I doing this task? What is my true purpose? This is not to judge or criticize, but to understand. Without clear intention, your efforts scatter like leaves in the wind. In the stillness of the mind, the true intention reveals itself naturally. It may be simple, such as doing your best, helping others, or learning something new. When your intention is clear, your actions follow with strength and meaning. Many people overlook this step. They focus only on the goal or the result and forget to prepare their inner purpose. But the goal without intention is like a boat without a rudder. It may move, but it will drift off course. The mirror of intention also reflects your feelings. Sometimes fear, anger, or doubt cloud this mirror. These feelings are natural. Do not push them away or fight them. Notice them gently and let them settle. When the mind is calm, the mirror becomes clear again. Imagine a calm lake at dawn. The surface is smooth and reflects the sky perfectly. Now imagine the same lake on a windy day, with waves crashing. Which lake would better show the beauty of the world? Your mind must be like that calm lake before your important work. Aligning your purpose with your work is like tuning a musical instrument before playing a song. If the instrument is out of tune, even the most skilled musician will sound off. When your mind and purpose are tuned together, your work becomes a beautiful melody. In everyday life, this alignment is often missed because we are busy, distracted, or pressured. The mind rushes from one thing to another, and we forget to ask, why am I doing this? But this question holds great power. It brings you back to the present moment and connects your inner world with your outer actions. When you work from this place, even difficult tasks feel lighter, and mistakes become lessons. Buddhism teaches that our actions are deeply connected to our intentions. This is called karma, not just the idea of fate, but the real energy we create by our mind's direction. A clear and good intention creates positive energy, leading to better results and peace. So before you begin, take a moment to see your mind as a mirror. Clean it by letting go of distractions and worries. Then look deeply and find your true intention. Hold it gently in your heart. This is not a quick trick or something you do once. It is a practice like watering a plant every day. With patience, your ability to set clear intention grows stronger. When you work from intention, your efforts become mindful. You are fully present with each step, aware of what you do and why you do it. This presence brings quality, focus, and calm. In the teachings of the Buddha, this is called right intention, one part of the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide to living wisely and kindly. Right intention means choosing thoughts and feelings that lead to kindness, truth, and peacefulness. Your intention is the root of your work's strength. If your root is strong, the tree will stand tall even in storms. If your root is weak, the tree may fall easily. Sometimes, you may feel uncertain about your intention. This is normal. The mind can be like a cloudy sky, but with practice, the clouds clear and the sun shines through. Try this now. Before starting any important task, close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself quietly, what is my intention? Feel the answer in your heart. Let it guide you like a gentle light. When you open your eyes, carry this light with you. Let it brighten your actions and steady your mind. Even if challenges come, your clear intention will help you move through them. In daily life, this practice also helps you to avoid being controlled by fear, anger, or confusion. These emotions often arise from unclear intentions or reacting without thought. But with a clear heart, you can respond wisely. The mirror of intention is also a mirror of your values. What matters most to you? Honesty? Compassion? Excellence? Let these values shine in your work. When your work reflects your true values, it becomes more than just a task. It becomes a way to express your highest self, your deepest purpose. Remember, before rushing to do, it is wise to pause and see clearly. This pause is not wasted time. It is the seed of success, peace, and joy. This way of preparing yourself changes how you experience work. It shifts from pressure and stress to calm and confidence. This teaching is simple but profound. The world may seem complicated, but the path to focus and success often comes back to this one thing: clear, honest intention. As a Zen master might say, do not hurry. The flower blooms in its own time. Your mind must bloom like that flower before important work. In this calm clarity, you find your strength, not by force, but by gentle presence. You learn to flow with what is, rather than fight against it. Work becomes a practice of awareness, a moving meditation. Each step is done with attention and care. This is the true power behind great achievements. It is not speed or busyness, but the peaceful alignment of mind and purpose. Keep returning to this mirror before every important task. Wash it clean with breath and gentle attention. See your intention clearly and act from that place. With time, this practice will become natural. You will begin to notice the difference in your work, in your mood, in your life. Even the simplest tasks will carry more meaning and joy. You will move through your day with grace and strength. So, remember, the mirror of intention is your guide. Treat it with respect and kindness. It will lead you well. Now, as you prepare to continue your work, carry this teaching gently in your heart. Let your intention be clear and bright. Your actions will follow naturally, like ripples spreading on still water. This is the way of mindful beginnings, the way of peace and success. The Zen master sits calmly, eyes half closed, a gentle smile resting on his lips. His voice is soft yet firm, inviting the listener into a quiet space of understanding. Listen carefully, for what I share is not complicated, yet it carries deep power. Before any important work, there is a simple way that monks have practiced for thousands of years. It is not magic or secret knowledge. It is a ritual of the heart, a moment to come home to yourself. In the quiet halls of the monastery, before the sun rises, monks begin their day not by rushing to tasks, but by sitting still. They do not try to force their thoughts away or chase after peace. Instead, they watch the breath, calm the body, and prepare their mind as if tending a sacred garden. This moment of stillness is their ritual. It grounds them like the roots of a tree holding firm in the earth. It is the invisible thread that connects their intention with their action. When the mind is rooted in calm, The work that follows flows with clarity and ease. You may wonder, why do monks do this? Is it only for meditation? No, it is for life itself. Because every important work, whether it is writing, speaking, healing, or simply being present with others, needs this foundation. Without it, the mind is scattered like leaves blown by the wind. Imagine a monk preparing for a ceremony. He does not hurry. He does not fill his mind with worries or plans. Instead, he takes a breath and feels his body sitting on the floor. He notices the contact of his feet on the ground, the rhythm of his breath rising and falling. In that moment, he is fully here, fully alive. This simple act is a ritual of presence. It is a way of telling yourself, now, I am ready. It is a way to honor the work you are about to do and the life you are living. When you do this, you carry peace into action. This ritual can be adapted for your daily life. Before any important work, take a moment to stop. Close your eyes if you can. Feel your breath. Notice how your body feels. Maybe you feel tension in your shoulders or a flutter in your chest. Simply acknowledge these sensations without judgment. Let your breath become a gentle tide, washing away the noise and clutter in your mind. Let your body sink into the support beneath you. Feel the earth holding you steady. This is the beginning of your ritual. You don't need to sit for long. Even a few breaths can make a difference. The key is to do it with intention and kindness. To say to yourself, I give myself this moment to be still and ready. In a monastery, this ritual is sacred because it reminds monks that their work is not separate from their being. When you prepare in this way, your mind and body become one. You are not rushing into work. You are stepping into it with calm and purpose. Many people skip this step because life feels too busy or urgent. But this is why they feel overwhelmed and tired. When you begin work without this ritual, you carry your worries, your fears, your distractions with you. Your energy scatters and your focus breaks. The ritual helps you gather your energy like a potter gathering clay. You cannot shape beautiful work without first forming a strong, centered base. Your mind is the clay, and your breath is the hands that shape it. This ritual also teaches patience. In a world that demands speed and instant results, the moment of stillness is a gentle rebellion. It says, I will not be rushed. I will prepare with care. From the silence of this ritual, wisdom arises naturally. The answers you seek often come not in frantic thought, but in the quiet space between breaths. Your intuition, your deepest knowing, is heard most clearly here. Remember, this is not about perfection or emptying your mind completely. It is about presence, being with what is, right now, without resistance. When you can do this before your work, you invite clarity, calm, and confidence to guide your actions. Try to make this ritual your daily habit. Each time before you begin your important work, pause and breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Let your mind settle like dust after a storm. You may find your work flows more easily. You may notice that challenges feel less heavy. You may discover a quiet joy in the process itself. The ritual connects you to something larger than yourself. A timeless rhythm of being and doing. It is a moment of respect for your own life and the work you are called to do. So, when the world feels noisy and your mind restless, come back to this ritual. Let it be your anchor, your secret strength. Practice it with sincerity and watch how your days change. This is the gift of the monk's ritual, the simple power of preparing your heart before you act. Imagine sitting quietly beside a calm lake. The water is still and clear. Now, think of what happens when you throw a stone into that lake. The water ripples, waves spread everywhere, and the calm surface is disturbed. In our minds, attachments are like those stones. When we hold tightly to things, whether it is an idea, a feeling, or a possession, our inner peace is disturbed. The mind becomes restless and noisy, like that lake after the stone is thrown. Attachments pull us away from the present moment. They chain us to things that may no longer serve us. Sometimes we hold on to old pain, old hopes, or fears. We think these things give us meaning, but in reality, they bind us. They make it hard to be free and fully aware of what is happening right now. In Buddhist teaching, attachment is one of the main causes of suffering. We suffer because we want things to be a certain way. We want to keep what feels good and push away what feels bad. This wanting and pushing create tension inside. The mind is no longer peaceful, it is caught in a struggle. But what is attachment really? It is a deep habit of the mind. We form connections with people, objects, and ideas. This is natural, but when these connections become clinging, when we fear losing or changing what we love, that is where trouble begins. Think about how often you find yourself distracted. Maybe your mind jumps to worries about the future or memories from the past. These thoughts pull you away from the work or task in front of you. This is attachment to what is not present. The mind is elsewhere, tangled in its own stories. To practice true focus, we must learn to let go, not in a harsh or forced way, but gently and wisely. Letting go does not mean ignoring your feelings or pretending things do not matter. It means seeing them clearly, understanding their nature, and allowing them to pass like clouds in the sky. When you let go of attachments, your mind becomes lighter. You're no longer held hostage by old hurts or endless desires. This freedom creates space for clarity, creativity, and calm action. In daily life, this is very practical. When you start important work, notice if your mind is holding on to something. Maybe you were upset about a past mistake or anxious about how others will judge you. These attachments can cloud your focus and steal your energy. By becoming aware of these pulls, you take the first step to freeing yourself. You observe without judgment. You do not fight or feed the distraction. You simply watch and let it be. This is the practice of mindfulness, observing your mind's habits without getting caught in them. It is like being a wise witness to your own thoughts and feelings. From this place of observation, you can choose not to follow the impulse to cling or react. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to notice these attachments before they control you. You begin to create space between stimulus and response. This space is where true freedom lives. This is not a quick fix or a magic trick. It is a daily practice, a way of living with awareness. Like tending a garden, you gently remove weeds of attachment so that your mind can grow strong and healthy. In Buddhist stories, the river is often used as a symbol of life. The river flows naturally, never holding on to any water that passes. It simply moves forward. When your mind flows like the river, letting go of what no longer serves, you move through life with grace and ease. Many people think that holding tightly to things will protect them, but the opposite is true. Clinging causes suffering. Freedom comes from openness and acceptance. You might wonder, how do I let go of something important? The answer is patience and kindness. Be patient with yourself as you learn. Be kind to the parts of you that feel afraid to release control. Begin small. When distracting thought arises, acknowledge it. Say silently to yourself, "This is just a thought." Then gently return your attention to the present moment. Over time, you'll find that your mind feels less crowded. You will have more energy and clarity for your important work. You will feel lighter, more peaceful, more alive. This practice does not mean you stop caring. On the contrary, you care more deeply because you are fully present. You act from a place of wisdom instead of fear or need. The Zen master once said, "Let go or be dragged." If you do not learn to release your attachments, they will control your mind and your actions. But if you let go, even just a little, you step into freedom. Remember, the goal is not to become cold or indifferent. It is to open your heart wide enough to embrace life as it is, without clinging to what was or what might be. In this way, your mind becomes like clear water again, reflecting the world calmly and clearly, able to respond wisely. So, when you prepare for your important work, take a moment to notice what you are holding on to. See if there are stones in your lake. Then, with gentle awareness, let those stones sink and settle. As your mind clears, you'll find a new strength. You will be more present, more focused, and more able to meet whatever comes with peace. This is the path of freedom through letting go. When you sit quietly and watch your breath, you begin to notice something very simple but very important. Your mind is always rushing. Like a river that never stops flowing, your thoughts come and go without rest. Sometimes they bring joy, sometimes fear, sometimes anger. This rushing mind pulls you here and there, like a leaf caught in a strong wind. Most people live like this, always reacting. Someone says a harsh word, and they react with anger. Something goes wrong, and their mind floods with worry. A difficult moment arises, and they jump into panic. These reactions are automatic, like a flame that lights itself from a spark. But the flame can burn everything around it if it is not controlled. The question is this: can you learn not to be the flame that burns, but the still air that holds the flame gently? Can you learn to pause, to create a small space between the spark and the fire? In Zen, this space is precious. It is the space where you are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. You are the watcher, the silent presence that sees the fire but does not feed it. This is not easy at first. When anger or fear arises, it feels urgent and real. It demands attention. It pulls your body tight, your breath short, your mind racing. The habit of reacting is old and strong. But just as the river can be quieted by the gentle touch of a stone, so can your mind be calmed by the gentle touch of awareness. To respond instead of react means to stop the automatic movement of the mind. It means to take a breath before you act, to listen to what your heart and mind are saying, instead of jumping at the first impulse. Imagine you're walking through a forest, and suddenly you see a snake. The old habit is to scream and run. The mind reacts quickly out of fear. But what if you pause for a moment? What if you look carefully, breathe deeply, and then chose your action? Perhaps you would step back slowly, or maybe you would stay calm and watch the snake until it moves away. The choice is yours. This simple pause changes everything. It moves you from being a slave to your emotions to being the master of your actions. It allows your wisdom to guide you instead of your fear or anger. This is what the Buddha taught again and again. When you feel anger rising, do not push it away or hold it tightly. Watch it. Understand it. Let it pass like a cloud in the sky. When you're able to create this space, you will see your mind more clearly. You will notice the patterns of your reactions and understand why they arise. This understanding is power. It frees you from being controlled by your old habits. It helps you choose your path with care and kindness. Practicing this pause takes patience. It is like training a wild horse. At first, the horse runs freely, wild and fast. But with gentle guidance and time, the horse learns to stop, to listen, to carry you safely. In the same way, your mind learns to pause with practice. Each moment you stop before reacting, you build a stronger habit of peace. You might wonder, how do I begin? How do I create this pause when life feels so urgent and overwhelming? The answer is simple but profound. Begin with your breath. Your breath is always with you in this very moment. When you feel a strong emotion rising, take one slow, deep breath. Feel the air entering your body and then leaving. This breath creates a tiny space between the feeling and your response. In that space, you can choose how to act. Over time, this breath becomes a bridge between the storm of emotions and the calm of your true self. It is not about stopping emotions. Emotions are natural and important. It is about not letting emotions control you. Imagine a great ocean. Sometimes it has big waves, sometimes it is calm. You are the sky above the ocean, vast and peaceful. The waves come and go, but you remain steady. This steadiness is what you build when you practice pausing before reacting. It is the beginning of true freedom. Freedom does not mean doing whatever you want. Freedom means acting with awareness, with care, and with kindness. When you respond instead of react, your actions come from a place of wisdom, not fear. You create peace in yourself and in those around you. This practice also helps you in your important work. When you face challenges, you can meet them with calm and clarity. You make better decisions, and your energy lasts longer. The pause is a simple tool, but a powerful one. It helps you move from chaos to order, from confusion to clarity. Remember, the pause is not a one-time event. It is a way of living. Each moment is an opportunity to choose peace over reaction. Even when you fail, and you will sometimes, that is part of the path. When you notice you have reacted without pausing, gently bring your mind back. No judgment, no shame, just kindness to yourself. This kindness is also a teaching from Buddha. Be patient with your practice. Be patient with your mind. As the days go by, the pause will grow stronger. It will become natural like breathing. And one day, you will find that the space between stimulus and response is wide and clear. In that space lies your freedom. In this space, you're not just surviving, you are truly living. So, when your mind feels rushed, your heart heavy, or your emotions stormy, remember the power of the pause. Breathe deeply. Watch the moment. Respond with wisdom. This is the path of the mindful warrior, the path of peace and action. And through this path, your important work will become not a burden, but a joyful expression of your calm and focused mind. Transformation through practice, making it a way of life. Now breathe. You've come a long way. You've listened. You've reflected. You've walked slowly through each teaching, step by step, like a mindful traveler on a quiet mountain path. And now you are here at the end, and also at a new beginning. Before we go further, let me ask you gently, do you feel it? A shift, small but real, not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet knowing that something inside you has changed. Something has softened, and something has awakened. This is the gift of presence. Many people watch videos. Few people walk with them. You walked with this one. Let me remind you now, this was never about some big secret. It was never about a trick or a quick fix. It was about one simple thing. One thing that, when done with awareness, changes everything. That thing was pausing before you begin. A sacred moment before important action. A breath before the first step. A still mind before the leap. You may wonder, can it really be that simple? Yes, it really is. But here's the truth. It's simple, not easy. What we've talked about isn't just a technique. It's a way of living. A way of returning to yourself, again and again, no matter what the world throws at you. Whether you're about to start an important meeting, a creative project, or even a difficult conversation, this practice is your anchor. It's your invisible temple. No one may see it. No one may understand it. But you will know, because you have felt it. When you prepare your mind first, you make space for wisdom to move through you. You become like a quiet lake, still, clear, reflecting everything, and yet disturbed by nothing. This is not the end of a video. This is an invitation to live differently, to slow down before you speed up, to trust stillness more than noise, to value depth more than rush. Buddha once said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. But it is not only what you think, it is when you think. A mind that reacts is noisy. A mind that responds after silence is wise. The real transformation begins when you practice this pause every single day. Not just once. Not just when things are hard, but even when things are good. Especially then. You wake up. You sit. You breathe. You watch your thoughts like clouds in the sky. You say to yourself, before I begin, I arrive. Before I do, I simply am. That is the doorway. You don't need to be a monk to do this. You don't need to live in the mountains. You don't need to give up your job, your phone, or your family. You only need a few seconds of presence. Just long enough to catch your breath. Just long enough to meet yourself before the world meets you. And if one day you forget, if you get pulled into the rush, the noise, the worry, it's okay. Come back. That's the beauty of this path. You're never too far gone. You can begin again, always. This is the life of awareness. Not perfect, not constant, just awake again and again. And if you ever doubt this practice, look at the great teachers. They all started with silence, with breath, with the simple choice to sit still before acting. And through that stillness, they changed the world. So can you. Now, dear listener, if this journey has touched you, even in the smallest way, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, because it lets us know this wisdom matters. Comment below with your thoughts, because your words might lift someone else's day. Share this with a friend, because peace grows when we pass it on. And above all, if you haven't already, subscribe to Wisdom Writings. This space is here for you, always. And as a way to stay positive and centered, I encourage you to write Namo Buddhaya in the comments. Not just as a phrase, but as a quiet bow, a gesture of peace, a sign that you are walking this path too. Let that be your final offering today. This video may end, but your real practice begins now. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in slowly. Hold it. And now exhale gently. Feel the silence around you. That silence is the teacher. Return to it often. And when you do, everything you touch, your work, your words, your relationships, will begin to carry the fragrance of calm, presence, and purpose. This is the way of wisdom. This is the way of peace. Thank you for walking this path with us. And remember, before you act, pause. Before you do, become still. Before you move forward, come home to yourself. We'll meet again. Until then, stay grounded, stay gentle, stay awake.